Hello everybody, my name is Kelly Bolton and this is Chris Bolton, my husband, and we would like to introduce ourselves. This is our first video to talk about ourselves, to talk about marriage medics, and to talk about what we want to do in the future to help couples. So, who wants to go first? Are you going first or am I going first?
I think you should go first.
Oh no, I knew he would say that. Okay, so this is Chris Bolton. To introduce him, I guess I would say that he is just a good old country boy from, did I say where I'm from? Do we say where we're from on this
Just
video?
say from Alabama.
From Alabama, okay. For security purposes. So from Alabama, grew up in the country. He was raised by his grandparents, which did a great job.
But you did tell them our name, so they can look us up.
Okay, Cobbett County, Alabama. There you go. That's where he was raised. I was raised in Cobbett County too, technically, but. So, he's just a good old country boy. He's down to earth. He's, as the kids would say, a jack of all trades. Just knows a little bit about everything. Some things a lot about other things.
But most everything else, not enough. Just enough to get in trouble.
Yeah, true. But he's a good man, and he's done a lot of growing. We've been through a lot, and I would say that he is my soulmate and the love of my life. And I'm enjoying this journey called life with him. And we hope to help a lot of people in the future. Okay, I know that wasn't all introducing you. Go ahead.
But it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay.
That's hard to do.
It's hard to
do on the spot like this.
It's hard to do unrehearsed.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do when you've never, ever made a video before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never
Mm-hmm.
sat here and talked to a camera out in the middle of the woods.
Mm-hmm. It's a real pretty
So,
spot, though.
yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
Okay, so you're...
So my wife is Kelly, and I first met Kelly in 1992. That's how long ago that's been.
I didn't go into all those details.
Well, I'm introducing you. You've already had your shot at it. It's my turn.
Yeah.
So Kelly and I met, and she was incredible. And from then on, I have been able to, in every imaginable way possible, live my life with Kelly. Even some of the stuff that I wish I had not imagined. We have been through some of that too. But I've always told her, and I'll tell you guys this, that she's the most amazing woman alive today. And I don't say that reluctantly or, kind of holding any of that back. I say that because I really feel that way. I really feel like she's a special person. She's a special woman. She's a terrific mom. She's been through a lot, and I've put her through a lot. We've prayerfully, through faith, overcome a lot of that. But I will tell you that looking back over the things we've been through, it's a growing process, and no matter how many mistakes we've made, no matter what things we've done right, it has been a journey. So I will say that life as we know it, each one of us individually as we know it, is a journey. And you're going to choose someone to share the journey with. So when you choose that someone, bear in mind that there's coming a day to where you're going to sit back 30 years later and be able to tell that journey, be able to share that journey with someone else. And that journey is either going to be able to help somebody else or it's going to have hindered somebody else. And in our case, we've done both. We've hindered a lot of people in some of the decisions we've made, and we've hopefully helped a lot of people in the decisions that we want to make continuing on in the future. So as I introduce her, I would tell you that she's the mother of 3 beautiful children. Our children are grown. We have a special needs daughter, and we have 2 boys. And I have never, ever wondered whether or not my wife was going to take care of her kids. I've never wondered whether or not she was going to be the mother she should be. I would never question her motives for what she's done. In the process of some of the decisions that we have made, we have gotten away. We have made some of the bad decisions that have had ramifications that filter down to the kids, that ripple out to the kids, and we're still overcoming those mistakes, and you will find some of those out as we go through the journey, and we're not going to be shy about anything. We'll be pretty brass about what this journey has been, and hopefully, if you're open to the idea of allowing two people who are just regular people who have lived a lot of life so far, we've made a lot of mistakes. But in the process of all those mistakes, we've also gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and we've tried to listen to the counsel that has been provided for us. And that's all we're trying to do, is to try to help others. We're not trying to be a know-it-all. We're not trying to claim that we know even some of the stuff that we're talking about. We'll have no other reference but that we've bombed it and overcome it. So help us in our life by praying for us, and help us to try to enable those who listen to grow, because that's all we're trying to do out of this, is to grow people, to grow ourselves, and to hopefully leave a legacy that is nothing more than helping others. And that's what Kelly and I want to do. We've served our selfish years, and we're done with that. And from here on, everything that we do, we want it to be done unselfishly. And we want it to be done in service to the Lord and give Him glory. This has nothing to do with us. This has to do with what we're trying to do to rectify our problems and try to overcome those mistakes. So I don't know what these videos are going to hold. We're just kind of rolling.
Yeah, one of the things we want to do is just kind of talk like we normally do at home. We have a lot of conversations, a lot of discussions and conversations amongst each other. And we read books, marital books. We try to read, like right now we're reading 2 at one time, which is a little difficult.
Which is a challenge.
I don't know that we'll do that again after this one, but it has been okay because the chapters have been short. But
powerful.
Powerful.
And they've complemented each other so well. It's
Yes.
weird that we chose 2 different books to try to read at the same time, because we couldn't choose which one we wanted to do next. So we just chose them both, and they are literally complementing each other almost chapter for chapter.
Yes. So we kind of wanted to we talked about doing podcasts or doing videos, and just bringing y'all into our lives and our just everyday conversations. You know, some of these videos we may edit a little bit as far as, you know, the first and the ending or something like that if we had to stop because of something crazy. But other than that, you're just going to get the raw footage of us sitting here talking like we would at home or anywhere
So brace
else.
yourselves.
Yes, be a lot
Brace
of bloopers
yourselves.
in the videos. But I think that's good. When I watch videos of other people, I like the real ones. So I think that's good.
And that's one thing that I can say that we are as realists. We're not trying to live a fairy tale. We're not trying to live some life that is to impress you. That's not what we want to do. We want to live for each other. We want to live for God. We want to live for our neighbors and for our friends. But specifically right now, I think we're in the chapter of living for our children and trying to help them and try to be the example you're supposed to be and be the source of wisdom and knowledge that we're supposed to be. But we know that wisdom doesn't come from us. It comes from our experience in knowing the truth and trying to do the truth. And sometimes knowing the truth and doing the truth, there's a chasm between the two of them. And we're trying to draw that chasm to a close so that knowing the truth and doing the truth is what we're doing.
And without getting into a lot of detail on our past, because we don't want to just let everything out there right now, because we do want to have more content for the future. I would like for you, because you do a good job explaining things, but just to explain to everybody about the Marriage Medics and what we're doing, and like the website and the retreat we have coming up and things like that.
Well, Marriage Medics was kind of an idea that we just had. We were all sitting around, and I think we started this the last day of the year of 21. Does that sound right? 21? Because we were gathered together with our family, and I had actually wrote down a number of titles for websites, and I actually asked the family for some input of which one they liked best. And Marriage Medics was the one I liked the best, but I didn't know how that connotation would come across because we're not professionals. We don't claim to be professionals. We're not trying to be, some certified clinician or anything like that. All we want to do is try to help. Just like if you think about the term medic, on the battlefield, a medic is someone who renders aid, and that aid that they're rendering to you is on the battlefield, but it's trying to keep you either in the battle or make it off the battlefield so that you can seek proper treatment. So in what we're trying to do, it's not a do-all, answer-all, fix-all. It's just trying to get you to realize that we're all broken to some degree. We all have flaws. We all have areas for growth and so much potential to listen and to hear counsel and to hear words of wisdom. And for those of us who have lived long enough, the longer you live, the more you find out you don't know much at all. And what I do know is my mistakes way outweigh my better judgments and my decisions that I've made for good. And it's an ever learning process. So Marriage Medics is not us. It's something we're trying to do to help others. So we would ask that if you've been married for a long time or if you've not been married for that, where we go to church, there's 5 couples that's been married longer than 60 years. And that's amazing. 60 years plus. And so for us, what we're trying to do is listen to those who know and listen to those who know more. And if we could all pay it forward, if you will, if we could all lean into the future just a little bit to try to help those who are struggling, to try to help those who don't know where to turn. They don't have the answers. They're praying for what they need to do, or they're asking their friends, or they're seeking advice. The one thing I can tell you is the world has a lot of advice. Just ask anybody, they'll tell you their opinion. But in the process,
bad advice.
Well, yeah, in the process of that, it's not all what's best for you. It may be what was best for them. It may be resentment talking. It could be anger talking. It could be, fed up. It could be, overheated advice. You don't know what their situation is. So you have to be careful who you ask for advice. But Marriage Medics is an effort for all of us to band together those who value the relationships between husbands and wives, those who value the relationships that we're supposed to have as friends and neighbors who care for each other, the value that we should have for our communities and for love and even for our future, because we're sowing the seeds of the future every day. And what we teach our children, they're going to teach their children, and so on and so forth. So Marriage Medics is an effort for all of us just to try to help each other. Because at the end of the day, I need all the help I can get. And I know I lean on Kelly for a lot of help. And I have a lot of shortcomings, and she forgives me of so much. But we should all be trying to help each other. And if we would stop the divisive tone, if we would stop the divisive terminologies, if we would stop being jealous, if we would stop being envious, if we would put into practice more of doing unto others, it would change the way people even give advice. I mean, even on the fundamental level of advice, if we would think about somebody else's future and the words that we speak and the things that they may actually listen to from us, maybe we can help. Maybe we can bring people closer to each other, and that's the goal of all this, because at the time that we needed it, we weren't listening.
Okay, so the sad thing is the majority of people today want to sabotage, want to see you unhappy. Misery loves company, and that is so true, and they want to sabotage your relationship. sabotage your home life, and that's where a lot of that bad advice comes into play because, they don't want you to succeed and do well in life. That's just the reality.
So the website is marriagemedics.com, and you can go to that website and you'll be able to read articles. You'll be able to see videos like this. You'll be able to see the events that we have that are coming up, and you'll be able to tie into a lot of the information that hopefully other writers could provide. Like if we come across really great articles, really great things that we thought would be meaningful in the area of marriage, we would like to incorporate that into our website, not to violate anybody's copyright laws or anything like that. We're just trying to get people the resources and the help that they actually need. And so if you feel like this is something that you yourself might want to partner with, one of the things that we have found out in our life and even in ministry and things like that is that people are reluctant to be real. They will put the facade on, they'll put the smile on, even to the point of trying to convince themselves that everything's all right. But in reality, they're hurting inside, and they don't know which way to go, and they really don't feel like they have somebody to turn to. So,
and we've been there.
Yes, very much have we been there. So what we are wanting to do is to try to partner people with other people who are willing to help and who are willing to lend them some of their time, and just be able to be candid with each other. Because sometimes I don't know as much with the women. I can't speak for my wife in this area, and I certainly can't speak for those that I don't know. But I will say that for men specifically, sometimes we just need to be told straight up the truth. We need to be told, slow down. We need to be told to sit down and shut up. I know that's not proper etiquette to say things like that on videos and stuff, but sometimes we need candid conversation, and we need to be able to have candid conversation. But I'm not going to go talk to somebody that I know intimately about all the issues of my life. I would rather honestly talk to a stranger that I have confidence that they're not just some stranger, that has no clue, but maybe they're a stranger that I can have confidence in. I know that sounds weird.
No, it doesn't, because it goes back to the bad advice. It's sad to say, and the misery loves company. It's sad to say in today's world, there's a lot of people that have a bad motive, and sometimes people you think that they're your friend, and you may get close with them, and you tell them, you confide in them, and then they use the information against you. To try to sabotage you, to try to learn more about what's going on, or if there's something going on in your marriage. And it's sad. It's really sad, and I really think that it's worse with women. And that'll be one of the videos I know that we do.
You mean you?
And maybe maybe we'll do some separate videos too on this, because but that's one of the videos for sure. Is about women and how women are so much worse in this area, as far as not being other women's cheering. What am I trying to say? Cheering for them and standing up for them, and
wanting someone else to succeed.
And being their biggest fan. Usually it's right the opposite. Women compete against each other, and they just don't show the love that they should for each other. And that's why a lot of times, you have a lot of women that just aren't friends with a lot of other women, because there's just some evil people out there with evil motives. So where that's goes along with, to me, about wanting somebody that that's like a stranger, because you can at least be confident that and somebody that you don't go to church with, somebody you don't see every day,
somebody you don't work with. No,
that you're going to walk in and you just had a conversation the day before, and you walk in with your spouse and you've had a conversation about, a problem that you had. And then there you are with your spouse, and y'all have got to face this person, and they have
And
heard
dude's
this
gonna
whole
know
thing.
that you've just told her everything because of the
Yes.
look on her face.
Yes.
If you have confided all this information into someone that you know, that's very close to your family, that's very maybe time sensitive, you see them several times a week, they're going to know. And then, like for me, if I were to walk in and you've confided in this, not that you shouldn't, but that you
have to
know.
be careful, yeah.
Now the husband, I'm going to say, you told her, didn't you? And it's almost like an immediate defense mechanism in the man, because men want to protect their ego at all costs, and
Yes.
that ego is going to be the death of you eventually. It may be what gets you a good high paying job. It may be what gets you, you know, all these accolades that you think are important, that ego, but eventually that ego will be the death of you, and it'll be the death of your relationship.
Yes.
Because the ego has no place in a relationship. How do you have a relationship if one of you has an ego?
Yes.
It's just not going to thrive. It's not going to be a healthy relationship, because your ego's just, now you got three people essentially in the relationship: you, your wife, and your ego, or her ego, one of the two of you.
Right.
So it's just really dangerous to have that confidence in someone, that when you say it, now it's out there, and now it kind of turns the man specifically I'm talking about on the defensive with his wife.
Yeah. And also, we just started a new YouTube channel, and so you can find it. I will actually put this video on YouTube, and we will also put it on the Marriage Medics, which, do you say marriagemedics.com is the website. And then the YouTube video, you can search it by punching in at Marriage Medics, and it'll pull up. But we're going to put that video on there, and we're going to start doing many more. We're going to start doing 15-minute videos, 30-minute videos, 45-minute videos, different lengths, different topics.
There'll be videos, there'll be podcasts, there'll be
audios that you can put your earbuds in and listen to it, you know, lunch, or while you're running or walking, hiking.
And we're going to take you along our journey too, to where if you'll take us along your journey, and we'll take you along our journey, maybe the journeys can kind of merge a little bit in thought, in teachings, in confidence, in maybe strengthening you in areas that you don't want to tell anybody about, and that's okay at a certain level. But in order for you to be able to address the issue, you have to identify the issue. Of course, that's the age-old thing. In order to address the problem, you got to know there's a problem. And so for us, what we're going to do is we're going to take you on road trips. We're going to take you on walks. We're going to take you at all the aspects of our life that we have the opportunity to do a video and to talk with you. We're going to do that, and hopefully that there'll be something that you can use. Maybe it's on your commute into work. Maybe it's something that, one of the things that Kelly does, and I admire her for doing this, which we don't spend as much time now separate in the car as we once did, but she would use travel time as prayer time. And I know friends in the past who have done that. Actually, I know one friend that had a police officer pull up beside him and, you know, rode beside him for several miles before the guy ever realized that there was a police officer right beside him. And the police officer's pointing down at the speedometer, and the guy's saying, well, I wasn't paying attention, I was praying. So, you know, use every opportunity you have to pray and to listen to God whenever God knows how to heal these things.
And I don't know if we even said that you were a preacher, but
I didn't know if we wanted to say that.
Well, we just did.
If that turns you off, stay tuned. Don't turn it off yet.
Well, because you kind of, I don't see how we can go into this without saying that, because we want this to be about marriage, but how can it be about marriage if you don't add the spirituality to it, especially in our lives?
You can't.
So this is definitely
Marriage itself
spiritual,
is spiritual
and marriage. So I don't
There's
see
no
how you
way
can say one without the other. And our biggest thing with all of this, our biggest goal is to keep people from going through what we did. We were apart for several years, and we'll get into that probably in another video, but we were apart for several years and have a lot of regrets. Our kids have been through a lot, and we, are just now, we've been given a second chance, and not very many people get the second chance that we've been given with each other and with the kids. So we're very thankful, very blessed, and we just want to keep everyone from having to go through what we went through, and just to stop it where it is. You know, there was a time that there was times we can look back and we can say in our, you know, we can talk and say there was times, there was actual dates and times that this could have been stopped and could have been turned around. And that's what we want to do, is to, when,
but you know who got in the way?
From doing that.
We
us,
did.
Us.
We did. We got in the way.
Selfishness, which is a whole nother video. But selfishness. Everything that we did, every mistake we made was because of being selfish.
Yep.
So we just want to help everyone as much as we can. And if this helps one marriage from going through what we went through, it was worth it.
Absolutely.
So.
And if you're that one marriage, try to help somebody else. That's what this is all about. This is not about us trying to make any kind of accolade out of this, us trying to get any kind of, you know, recognition or sponsorship or whatever. Really, we would like to have a partnership out of everybody to try to help others, because we're reaping what we've been sowing for generations of people not helping other people. And until we change us, we can't change the future. Until we change our selfishness and our, you know, inward look and all the things that we do on a daily basis in our society, in our culture, in our world today, until we change our perspective, where does the future go? I mean, it just continues to go inward, and we're not interested in going inward. We would like to go upward, not inward. So we want everybody to understand that this is something for you, for me, for Kelly, for whomever, to help other people. But in order to help other people, you got to get the beam out of your own eye. And so that's what we're trying to do. Does that make sense?
It does. All right, so I guess until next video, this is a good introduction to everything. And
where we go from here?
Well, I don't know, but we'll talk about the topic we're going to do next, and we'll put another video together and we'll share it with you.
She's waiting on me to hit the button.